You know, for the longest time, the very top of our world was this frozen frontier. It was a place really governed by ice, by science, and, amazingly, by a rare spirit of cooperation. But that ice is melting, and as it disappears, a whole new kind of cold is setting in. This is the story of the new cold front.
And that's not just a dramatic quote. That's the reality on the ground. The Arctic is warming up faster than literally anywhere else on Earth. And as the physical climate changes, well, the geopolitical climate is heating up right alongside it.
So how on earth did this happen? How did a place that was a symbol of post-Cold War harmony suddenly become a potential flashpoint for the 21st century? All right, let's break it down.
To really get what's happening now, we've got to rewind the clock a little bit. Because, not that long ago, the Arctic was seen as this total exception to all the world's conflicts. Think about it. During the Cold War, the Arctic was this high-stakes military zone, the shortest, most direct path for missile strikes between the US and the Soviet Union. But then, as those global tensions started to thaw, the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev painted a completely new picture, a vision of peace. And that led directly to the creation of the Arctic Council, this unique body that was all about science and environmental protection, deliberately leaving military stuff off the table.
And these were the main players, the 8 nations with territory inside the Arctic Circle, all agreeing to find some common ground in one of the toughest environments on the planet.
And for decades, this model actually held up. The Arctic was treated as this exceptional place, a zone where even fierce rivals could come together and work on shared challenges. It was a really rare bright spot of international harmony.
But yeah, that model, it's completely shattered. Those old fault lines from the Cold War haven't just reappeared, they've come back deeper and more defined than ever. And the breaking point, the moment everything changed, was one single event. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 sent this massive shockwave all the way to the top of the world, shattering the Arctic's long-held peace. Cooperation within the Arctic Council, it froze solid overnight.
Just look at this. It lays out the stark new reality. With Finland and then Sweden joining NATO, the entire map of the Arctic got redrawn. What used to be this 8-nation cooperative council is now, for all intents and purposes, a 7-on-1 standoff between NATO and Russia. The whole focus has swung from climate science to military defense.
And this isn't just a political shift. It's a military one, and it's happening fast. Russia's reopened dozens of its old Soviet bases. It's testing super advanced weapons, like hypersonic cruise missiles, which are crazy fast and hard to stop, right there in Arctic waters. In response, NATO's held its biggest drills in the region since the Cold War. The US has reactivated its specialized Arctic troops in Alaska, and we're even seeing Russian and Chinese bombers flying joint patrols near Alaska. The remilitarization up there is very, very real.
And this really shows you just how strategically important this part of the world has become. The thinking isn't just about controlling the region. For a power like the US, a strong foothold in the Arctic is now seen as absolutely vital for global security, especially for keeping an eye on your rivals. Speaking of rivals, you can't talk about the Arctic today without talking about the growing Russia-China partnership. It's a huge piece of the puzzle. For Russia, it's pretty simple. They get a powerful partner to push back against a nearly all-NATO Arctic. And for China, which cleverly calls itself a near-Arctic state, it's a chance to get a foothold in the region and push its big polar Silk Road economic plans.
But this new competition, it isn't just about military bases and posturing. It's also being fueled by 2 huge economic prizes. And the first one is the dream of a brand new global shipping highway, the Northern Sea Route.
The idea is pretty simple, right? As the ice cap shrinks, a new path opens up along Russia's northern coast, and this Northern Sea Route could, in theory, shave thousands of miles and many days off the trip between Europe and Asia.
But this is where the hype runs smack into a very cold reality. In 2024, the Northern Sea Route saw just 97 cargo voyages. Now compare that to the Suez Canal, which handles over 13,000 ships every single year. I mean, it's not even in the same league.
And here's why. For starters, the ocean is still frozen solid for most of the year, and even in the summer months, the environment is dangerously unpredictable. Global shipping runs on razor-thin schedules and absolute certainty, and right now, the Arctic just can't offer that.
So if the shipping shortcut is still a long shot, what's the other major prize everyone's after? Well, it's all about the unbelievable, untapped wealth buried right under the ice and the seabed.
I mean, the numbers here are just mind-boggling. Estimates suggest that the Arctic holds something like 30% of the world's undiscovered natural gas and 13% of its undiscovered oil. This is basically the last great frontier for fossil fuels.
But wait, it's not just about oil and gas. The region, and especially Greenland, is loaded with rare earth minerals. You know, the stuff that is absolutely essential for, well, everything from our smartphones to the most advanced military tech. For Western countries, getting access to these minerals could be a game changer, a way to break their dependence on China, which pretty much has a monopoly on the market right now.
But, and you probably saw this coming, just like with the shipping routes, there's a massive catch. Getting to these resources is incredibly difficult and wildly expensive. We're talking about super remote locations with zero infrastructure. No roads, no ports, no power, and it would require a mind-boggling investment to operate in some of the harshest conditions on Earth.
So let's pull all these threads together. The dream of a peaceful, scientific Arctic, well, that dream is over. A new era of high-stakes competition has begun.
And really, this says it all. Just 15 years ago, the mantra for the entire region was high north, low tension. Today, that has been flipped completely on its head. The new reality is high north, high tension.
You've got military buildups, a frantic race for resources, and completely redrawn alliances that have transformed the top of the world. And it leaves us with this one critical question for the future. As the ice keeps disappearing, revealing new pathways and new prizes, can the world's powers keep this new cold front from turning, well, hot?